Hello and welcome back. My name is Jonathan Kinsey and I'm the president of the MBASA. The SHSU MBA Student Association is excited to present the next panel in our series on small business development. But before we dive in, if you're not already following us, be sure to subscribe, find us on Instagram, join our GroupMe, and ring that bell for more content. The MBA Student Association is all about building networks and building careers, so let's go ahead and get connected. To introduce our panelists today, we have our Vice President, Jamie Dietrich. Jamie, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be back again. This is our final engagement opportunity for the spring semester, and we are wrapping up with the wonderful Rhonda Elisor. She is the director of the Small Business Development Center. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her for a brief introduction, and then she has a presentation for us.
All right. Thank you, Jamie and Jonathan. I'm so excited to be here. And as she said, I'm Rhonda Elisor. I'm the executive director of the Small Business Development Center here at Sam Houston State University. We're actually located at University Plaza, which is One Financial Plaza, Huntsville. It's across the interstate from the campus. And again, I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited for you to be here as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Well, Rhonda, if you want to go ahead and launch into your presentation.
All right. So I'm really excited to share with you today about the Small Business Development Center. We're part of Sam Houston State University, and I think we're a very well-kept secret because every time we see a client, they pretty much tell us, gosh, I'm so glad I found out that you're here and found out that, that you have all of these services available. We are part of the College of Business Administration at Sam Houston, and we're not located on campus. We're actually located across the interstate at One Financial Plaza, University Plaza. And we have a staff. We have myself as the director. We have 2 advisor positions that help advise businesses. And we have an administrative assistant, a student worker, and currently we have a CARES Act coordinator. And our center, we're part of the Texas Gulf Coast Network. Every state in the country has small business development centers, and they're all part of networks. Because of the size of Texas, we actually have 4 networks, and we're part of the Texas Gulf Coast Network, which is associated with the University of Houston at Houston. That's where our regional office is. And you can see here on the map the different areas that are covered through this network. There's 14 centers that serve 32 counties. And we actually, the Huntsville Center that's connected to Sam Houston State University, serves Walker County here in Huntsville, but we also serve 7 counties surrounding us. So we go as far as Willis. We go to San Jacinto County, which is Cold Springs, Shepherd. We go to Cleveland. We have Madisonville, Centerville, Trinity, Riverside. So we serve a lot of people, not only in the Huntsville area, but the surrounding area as well. And we are part of the Texas Gulf Coast Network that's funded through the Small Business Administration. We get a grant that partially funds us from the Small Business Administration. And this will give you just an idea of how many people we serve. I was really surprised. I started here about 2 years ago, and I had no idea how many people actually come to the center. I don't know what I was expecting, but there are a lot of people that use our services, and there are a lot of people that just don't know that there's a Small Business Development Center that offers these services. But we currently, since September, we have 349 clients that we're working with or have worked with. We average about 2.5 hours with those clients. The time that we spend with the client can be anywhere from 1 hour, which is unusual, to up to about 5 hours for what's considered a long-term client. And we have some clients that we've spent 13, 15, 20 hours with that really stick with us through their entire business time. We've helped, just in this past year, we've helped 19 businesses actually get up and started, and we've helped create 95 jobs. A lot of times those job numbers are a lot higher, but because of the pandemic and the loss of jobs, that's been a little bit different this year. But our capital formation has been really good this past year. We've helped businesses get over $10.5 million in capital. The current business status of those are 159 are not yet in business, so they've come to us to help them get started, and 190 of them are already in business. And it's every area from services, businesses that offer services, retail, construction, accommodation and food service, professional services. And of those businesses that are in business, 80 of them are sole proprietors. So you have a lot of individuals that are doing business as a sole proprietor. And then we had 66 LLCs, 31 corporations, and 7 partnerships. And of those in business, they had 1,450 employees and $98 million in annual sales. So that just gives you a little picture of the people that we serve. I would say it's probably almost half and half on female and male clients, a little bit more on the female side. And then we have a variety of nationalities, and I guess our biggest client would be whites, and then African Americans, and then Hispanic and Asians that we see. And I'll tell you a little bit about what we do when someone comes to us and they ask for assistance. A lot of times it's business planning, capital access, where they're trying to get money to start a business or to grow their business. We help with sales and marketing, all that implies. Market research, we have a lot of market research that we can provide, up to the minute information, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Accounting assistance, financial analysis, strategic planning, and we help with Hub certification. That's not completely inclusive, but that gives you a good idea of what we do. And I would say one of the biggest things that we assist with is starting a business. A lot of the people that come in have heard that we have this service available. And so when they're starting a business, they come to us and we talk about the things that are important: the feasibility study, the business plan, the cash flow requirements, the legal issues, permits that's needed, employee and contract labor, financing options, and tax responsibilities. Those are the things that we cover for someone who may be wanting to start a business. And we go in very much detail with them. Someone asked about, were there strings attached to these services? There really aren't any strings attached. It's absolutely free of charge. It's also confidential. We don't share your information with anyone, but there are a few things that we do ask that you do in return. And one of the things I've got here that I share is a survey. Our network will survey all of our clients, and mainly what they're doing is making sure that we're doing our job and that the clients are truly benefiting from our services. So when a client comes in and they can't believe that it's free and it's not costing them anything, we do remind them that there are some things we expect them to do, like complete the survey. And it's a simple survey that talks about were they provided the information that they needed? Was it done timely? And would they refer us to other people given the opportunity? And I'm proud to say we have a perfect survey. We've never gotten a bad survey in the 2 years that I've been here. We've had really good feedback from our clients. And then we also ask them to approve a scope of work. And the reason that we do this is when we're visiting with the client and we're talking about the things that we're going to do to help them and they're going to do to help themselves, we put that in writing at the end of the meeting, and then we have them sign a document that's the scope of work to make sure that we're on the same page and that there's no misunderstanding about what they're trying to accomplish, and there's no misunderstanding about what we're going to do to help them and what they're going to do to help themselves. So that's another thing that's required. And then the final step is the economic impact results and accomplishments form. And this is just something that we ask them to provide the information to us because we're helping them and because this is so important to the economy to know this information when they start a business, what the business type is, any loans that they've acquired, any owner investment that they put in the business, and any jobs that were created. And these are things that we only document if we had a role in contributing to those statistics. So that's reported on our SBA reporting And it basically shows that, again, we're doing the job that we're supposed to be doing and that we're funded for in part by the SBA. And most of our clients are really, they're happy to report these numbers and this information because they know it's going to help us to continue to get funding to be able to continue to provide the service. And then in the end, this is what happens with those numbers and that information. The end of every year, there's a report that's put out by the SBDC, and this is done throughout the country. All the SBDCs put out their impact reports, share them with their legislators, share them with the Small Business Administration, and it shows overall in each network how many jobs were created and saved, and additional taxes that were generated, and the startup and expansion capital, and everything that you see here on the slide is how we use the information that's generated from our clients. A little bit more now about how we can help a small business. These are some of the resources that we provide. I hope that's not too hard to read, but all of our staff at the Small Business Development Center, they have experience in working with businesses. They've either owned their own business, we've had experience working for businesses, and we've also had experience teaching and helping others to understand that information. But we always tell our clients, we don't know everything, but we have a lot of resources available to us at our fingertips that we can get. And that's the great thing about the Small Business Development Centers is you've got a wealth of information in the staff and that work here, but you also have a ton of resources through the university, through the SBA, through the Small Business Administration, through the network. And these are some of the things that we provide in addition to our one-on-one consulting. We have financial market and demographic research reports. I've requested quite a few of those recently for people that are trying to start new businesses or buy businesses, and they need to know more about the market area, or they need financial statements analyzed to see where they are in the industry. We have the ability to get competitor list of other businesses that are doing the same thing that you are. We can get that list in the entire region or just in the city or whatever area that client needs it. And then we also have some great guidebooks that we can share about business planning, marketing planning, understanding your financial statements, managing your cash flow. And those are booklets we can actually put in the client's hands to take home with them and really work through at their own pace. And we can also electronically send it by email. And then the great thing, since COVID, it's really caused us to change a lot of the things that we've done and the way we're doing it. One of the things is all of our centers have on-site training available. And we really had a strong training program here at our center, but because of COVID and all of the restrictions, we haven't been able to offer those in-person trainings. So the network has created this library of on-demand webinars that clients can take advantage of by being a client of the SBDC. It's, again, free of charge, and it's on demand. So you can actually sign up for one of the webinars and then get the email sent to you with the link and watch it at your convenience. I think you have like a 30-day window. And there's a ton of on-demand webinars that have been recorded. Just a few, starting a business, managing a business, procurement, technology, food and restaurant. And the neat thing is there's a lot of them available also in Spanish. And again, if you're a client of the SBDC, we share the information on how to sign up for these on-demand webinars. We also have quite a few live webinars. And again, just a lot of resources that we can pull for clients. This is a little bit wordy, but I wanted to share the information with you and I didn't want to forget anything. When a client comes in and they're starting and they want to know, what can I do? And a lot of them will just have the basic concept in mind. They know what they want to do, but they really haven't thought much beyond that. And then you have the client that walks in and they know every single aspect of what they want to do with that business. And you'll ask them, well, do you have this written down anywhere? Well, no, but they know it really well in their head. And that's great. But we always suggest that they put this business plan together, because every journey in life needs a roadmap, and that business plan is the one that we recommend to them, because there's so many things that they maybe haven't thought about that they need to think about when they're doing it, like, what's the demand for what they're wanting to offer, who's the target market, who's the competition, how they're going to market, the menu of services that they're providing, the price structure, and then of course the projections. What is it going to cost to start that business? Have you looked at all of the costs involved and the cash flow? Are you going to be able to cash flow year after year? Have you even looked at those numbers? And those are things that we encourage everyone to do, and especially if it's someone that's in the that needs a loan, if they're going to see a lender, are looking for private investors or other investors, they are going to have some type of business plan and projections. So we spend a lot of time helping people with those, and we won't write a business plan for someone. We will give them the resources that they need to pull the information together, and we will review their plans, and we will make recommendations to them to make it better. So it is a written business plan from that particular owner and client. And then below I have some things listed. We have access to the SBDC Net Clearinghouse. They're out of San Antonio. They actually provide information for SBDCs all across our country. And so they stay very busy. In fact, recently it's taken a little while to get the information back, but their information is so valuable to businesses. You can see here the list of some of the things that are available: new business research packages, established business research packages, business valuation research. The ring studies are wonderful because we can take an address for a business someone may be buying, or someone may be thinking about putting their business in a certain location, and we can have them run demographics for that particular area within a 3-mile radius up to 10, 15, whatever the client needs mile radius, to show what the demographics are like in that particular area, who their customers will be, what they're about. And it gives them that information ahead of time, as well as the competitor information that I mentioned earlier. And then opportunity gaps. We can pull for any city in the state. We can pull an opportunity gap that will show all of the businesses types that are listed, that are open in a particular area, and the supply and the demand in those particular areas. So it gives you an idea if you're trying to get into a business that there's a high demand for, or are you getting in one that's already saturated in that market, and you really need to think about it and see how you're going to stand out among the others that are already there. So those are just a few more of the things that we can offer. Legal structure. A lot of people come in and they don't know that there's an option of a legal structure, and we go over that with them. The most common that we see and that we talk with are sole proprietors and limited liability companies. And basically, if someone is doing business, say from their home, and they're selling things on the computer, there's not a lot of liability there. And so a lot of those will do sole proprietorships where they only have to file a DBA in their county. And then there's just a Schedule C that's added when they do their personal income taxes. It's really a simple way to do business. And we see a lot of people do that. But then it's also becoming very popular to be a limited liability company. This is a formation that you do with the Secretary of State, and it has some tax advantage. And then it also has personal liability protection. So anytime we have a client that's actually going to be interacting with the public and having customers walk into a storefront, or, again, interacting where there's possibility of liability, we make sure that they know about the limited liability company. And a lot of people will do it for prestige and for credibility is the word I'm looking for, where it gives them a little more credibility when they're working with vendors and presenting themselves. And then there's the other corporations, the S Corp, the C Corp, the B Corp, and then the not-for-profit. We really can't work with not-for-profits. If we have a client that's asking questions, we'll share information about how to become a not-for-profit, but we really work mostly with small businesses because that's how we're funded with the Small Business Administration. And then marketing strategy, this comes into play for a lot of our existing businesses. When we have businesses that come to us and they really may be struggling in certain areas, we always ask about what is their marketing strategy, and we go over things like them in the beginning, creating their identity, having their logo and their website and social media, and being consistent in their branding and how important it is to have a website. So many businesses, you know, that are starting today think that social media is really all they need to do. And it's so important that businesses have a website. And there's a number of reasons. I can go into that. If you want to come and talk to me as a client, we can discuss it. Understanding your customers and who they are, how they act, they think, they live. Are they on social media? Are they in organizations? Do they attend trade shows? Things that some people don't think about. A lot of people will think about things that they like, you know, they like to be on Facebook, or they like a certain product and they think that that's how their customers are going to be. But we try to encourage them to think like their customer would think and get outside of just what they prefer. Then inventorying their options, what all is out there and available. We can help with that. Digital trade associations, there's a lot of things that just aren't the obvious that people may not think about. And then one of the most important things, determining their budget and what kind of budget are they going to have for their business. And it's so important that they have something. And then of course, establishing metrics to be able to gauge and collect data and information to know if their marketing is working or not, and being able to adjust that as they go. Again, a really exciting thing that we have available that we didn't have before COVID, that came out of us not being able to have the training that I talked about earlier, where we actually had on-site training here at the center. We've been able to hire specialists for one-on-one sessions. So before, we would have like one of our most popular was the QuickBooks trainer would come to our center and have sessions where business owners or people that were becoming business owners would come and actually have on-site training with that specialist. But now that we're not doing that, the network has hired a host of wonderful specialists that are available to our clients. If you're a client of the SBDC, you can request one-on-one sessions with these specialists at no charge, and they will work with you on everything from marketing. These are the marketing ones that I have on the screen now. Shavana, she is with the actual PR firm, marketing firm, and you can see all of the things that she offers. And then we have specific SEO marketing with Doug Mansfield, who does an outstanding job working with clients, looking at their websites and talking to them about the search engine optimization, utilizing it the best that they can to get the most out of it. And he's really helped some of our clients that didn't have what they needed in the way of the right search words and things like that. And then branding and social media, we have Marsha Hudson. She works with clients, talking to them about how to use social media, when to use social media, what to post, and really walks them through centers. And she mostly works with QuickBooks. We have a loan servicing package person, Rebecca Schultz, who helps us with clients that are trying to put together loan packages to take to the lenders. She makes sure that they have everything in order and everything is ready to go before it actually goes. And what we'll do is work with the client, get all of the information together, get everything that they need, and then she will review it and make sure that it's basically in perfect order. We have retail and customer service, hospitality and finance, human resources, and then financial and accounting specialists that also help our clients. And one of the things I was asked to talk about, and I think this is so on target, characteristics of an entrepreneur. There's so many people that want to be an entrepreneur, And there's a lot of things that come with that. And I think it's like anything else, like a lot of things, it's not something that really can be taught. You can learn about entrepreneurship and you can work towards being an entrepreneur, but do you have the characteristics of being an entrepreneur? And these are some things that I think are important that you can think about if it's something you're considering is optimism. Are you an optimistic thinker? If you're someone who goes around and everything's negative, most likely you don't need to be an entrepreneur. You have to have some optimistic thinking just to survive, because it's just necessary. Vision, you need to have a vision. You need to be able to see the big picture, to be able to explain to others and inspire others. And not everyone has a vision. A lot of people live in the moment, in the day, and that's fine. But to run a business and be an entrepreneur, you really need to have vision. You need to be able to see the big picture and know what's coming, what's ahead of you. Initiative is so important. You have to instinctively start problem solving. It's just something that just, you take initiative and you do it. And we have a lady here in our office. She's an amazing problem solver, and she always takes the initiative. There's nothing worse than having an employee or a business owner who takes no initiative, because eventually things just aren't going to happen naturally, and it's not going to work. You have to have a desire to lead. You need to enjoy being in charge and making decisions. You can be an entrepreneur and you can let someone else lead, but what's the purpose of being an entrepreneur if you're not going to be your own boss and take charge? And so you really need to have that desire to lead and be in charge and make decisions. And you can hire employees or be an employee for someone else if that's what that's how you like to operate. Drive and persistence is important. You need to be self-motivated and energetic. There are some people that just have no drive, and that's okay. But in entrepreneurship, you have to be driven. You have to be self-motivated, because every day you wake up and you go to work and you're running a business is not just perfect. And if you're not self-motivated and energetic, you're not going to make it. Risk tolerance. You have to be able to take risks, and you have to make decisions. You can't just freeze and hope that things work out. You can do that for a while, but in the long run, it won't work. You have to take risks. You have to be able to just take that risk and make those decisions. And then resilient. Are you resilient? Can you pick yourself up when things don't go as planned? And can you grow from your mistakes and failure? Because I can promise you, if you're an entrepreneur and you're running a business, there are going to be times when things don't go as they're planned, and you're going to have to learn from your failure and keep going if you want to do it and be successful. When I started in this job, working for the Small Business Development Center, we had the first year we had COVID, and it changed everything. And the way we did things, where we did it, all things were changed. And then the next year we had our office flood and had to renovate the office. And you have to work around those things and keep going and be positive and make things happen and have a vision to see things how they're going to be in the future, and not get stuck where you are at that point. And learning from your mistakes when you make mistakes. And when you fail at something, not just giving up. A lot of people will just give up. And as an entrepreneur, you just keep going, you keep trying, and you keep changing things. And that's how you make it successful. So those are just a few highlights of what the Small Business Development Center is, what we do, what we can provide. We have an outstanding staff here that really cares about the clients and wants what's best for the clients. We're not afraid to tell you the truth and help guide you and lead you in whatever direction that is. And that's really what I wanted to share with you today. If you're interested in being a client of the Small Business Development Center, simply call us. This is my number, and our email You can send me an email and I'll send you an email on how to sign up. It's really simple. It's an electronic form. And once you do that, an advisor is assigned to you and will contact you immediately, usually within a day, and schedule an appointment to have your initial visit and then continue to work with you as long as you would like. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you will reach out to the Small Business Development Center if you have a need. And if you know other people that may benefit from using our services, please let them know.
Well, as we come to a close today, I'd like to thank both Rhonda and Jamie for joining me today. I had no idea how big of a resource the Small Business Development Center was for and is for aspiring entrepreneurs and small businesses. Thank you again so much for joining us to look into many of the services that the SBDC offers. To all the College of Business students, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date on what we're releasing, join the MBA Student Association, and push yourself to engage with others. We've got information about how to get involved down below. Thanks again for joining us.